Okay, now in the second video of the series, we're going to talk about an introduction to CSS and web technologies in general. So the internet is a very enriching place. It's very useful, obviously, and maybe what's not so obvious is over the last maybe 3 to 5 years, the internet has basically reinvented itself. It's so powerful and it can do so many wonderful things now. What is not obvious is 3 to 5 years ago we were lucky to get 3 to 5 megabits per second download speed at home. Now at home we're getting 30, 40, 50 megabits per second download speed. Just a many times increase in the speed of our internet. We're downloading more stuff. The internet is much faster, many times faster than it was, and of course, like, it's also now a lot more useful than it was only 3 to 5 years ago. The web applications that we have that we could do online, that stuff that we could do online, wasn't possible simply because the speed wasn't there. So what are the technologies that make this happen? Well, in brief, a combination of these 5 things makes everything happen. Okay, HTML is the base of everything. Everything is going to depend on HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, all right, and that basically, is a programming language that specializes in specifying what content is viewable, what pictures and what texts and what links and what paragraphs and what videos are going to be on that website. Now, in CSS, what CSS stands for is Cascading Style Sheets. CSS we use not to display content, not to display videos, not to display pictures, but we use CSS to define what those pictures look like, what size they are, should it be rotated left and right, where they're positioned on the page. The same thing with the text, what font size, what line spacing, what letter spacing, and same thing with the table. What kind of table, what kind of border, if any, rounded corners or not. And same thing with the videos. Where are the videos going to be located? How big is the video screen? CSS defines the style of the content. Now, JavaScript is a special language. JavaScript makes things come alive. So the biggest example I can think of is if you ever got onto a web page and then and you change your you're signing up for a new account and you go and you click Canada instead of the US, and then down below all of a sudden the page changes to, instead of asking for a state, it asks you for a province. So on the same page, on the same form, without refreshing the page, that's different part of the form change to ask you what province instead of state based on whether you've chosen Canada or the USA. That's JavaScript at work. Okay. PHP, ASP, and Cold Fusion. PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. All right. Yes, it should be HPP, but it's PHP. I don't know why. And this stands for ASP, Active Server Pages, and Cold Fusion. These are programming languages that define that work with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to interact with the database. So when you write an email, when you post a link when you post on someone's wall on Facebook, what happens is that text, that data, that information gets stored in basically a like a library of data, and this language here is used to interact with that library in order to store data. And without PHP, ASP, and Cold Fusion, we would not have YouTube, we wouldn't have Facebook, we wouldn't have email. All that stuff requires typing something in and storing it somewhere. Okay, and that's what these two languages work with each other to do that. Right? They make basically database web applications. So the combination of all of these technologies really gives us the whole user experience of a web app in HTML or on the internet. So we're going to focus today on HTML, and especially we're going to focus on CSS. All right. And as you can imagine, you can spend basically a lifetime learning all these technologies. And at least for me, I really enjoyed sitting down, learning something new, and trying something else out, learning something I didn't know how to do, and that kind of stuff. It's just a world of discovery out there, and so useful because, as you know, the whole internet is based on one or probably all of these technologies. It's pretty amazing. So anyways, so I have a little assignment. After you finish this video, if you're a student in my class, I want you to write me an email, and I want you, in that email, I want you to ask me, I want you to state two questions that you have that is based on what I said in this video. Alright, so email me 2 questions from this video. That is your homework. Okay, I will see you in the next video.